Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NFL Thoughts. So, this is my NFL Week 9 predictions video, and this video is going to come out at probably 11 o'clock at night. For those of you who live in California, then this probably comes out at 9 for you. So, nonetheless, this is I'm getting this out pretty late, but nonetheless, I needed to get this video out, to YouTube. So, yeah, we're doing our NFL Week 9 predictions video, as usual. So, Falcons versus Panthers. Falcons. There's no other way around it than the fact that the Panthers are literally tanking. They gotta be in tank mode. You're 2-6. You have no point. There's literally no reason to still keep playing like your playoff hopes depend on it. To be quite honest with you, as bad of a division you play in, you still are 2 games back. 2 games behind the 2 best teams right now ranked in the NFC South. So there's literally no point in you trying your best to get back into this. There's no point. So, yeah, I would just tank for Bryce Young while you're ahead. So, Seahawks versus Buccaneers. Speaking of the NFC South, this division is garbage. Buccaneers, y'all might think that you're back, and y'all just had a minor setback in whatever those 3 weeks, but you played the Rams, and I'll be quite honest with you, the Rams, they're struggling this year. They're not very good, and I will get to them later on, in these predictions. So, and meanwhile, the Seahawks are actually pretty good. They have a quarterback they still have a quarterback in Seattle that can cook, and they got a running game, and also their defense is starting to improve at the right time. So, going up against an offense that apparently does not like to score touchdowns, doesn't like to get into the end zone. Trust me, Seahawks, you might have yourself a field day in this game. So I got the Seahawks winning this. Lions versus Bears. Bears. And the reason why I'm picking the Bears is because the Lions have been sputtering as of lately offensively. You take away the game against the Dolphins, who are 24th in the league in points allowed per game, and the Lions have been struggling ever since after their first 4 games of the year. So, and it is what it is, the Lions are just going to do Lions things, but they're coming off of a win against the Packers, and they think that, they did something, but let's be honest, the Packers they've fallen off a cliff. So, and then the Bears, on the other hand, they have a much more improved offense. The problem has been the defense, but then again, they've given up a total of 84 points in the past couple of games against the Cowboys and the Dolphins. 2 teams, in my opinion, with some of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. The Cowboys have an explosive offense because of their running game, and the Dolphins have an explosive offense because of their passing game. So, yeah. Unfortunately, the Bears, they didn't want that smoke. And they found out, when they played them on Sunday. So, yeah, I got Bears winning that one. Browns versus Dolphins. Browns, they might not really, find the light of day until Deshaun Watson finally walks through that door. and is going to be starting for them again. Be their quarterback, and it's going to be against Houston. So yeah, but I got Dolphins winning this game. They're just the overall better team, and they're going to be at home. Maybe if this game was played in Cleveland, I might have thought otherwise. But because this game's going to be in Miami, I got the Dolphins winning. Broncos versus Titans. Broncos are atrocious, and they just got rid of one of their best defensive players. So now their defense is probably going to fall a little bit. That doesn't mean they're gonna fall like completely fall off, but they're gonna fall off. There's no question about it. So yeah, but they're going up against the Titans, and the Broncos don't really have a very good run defense. So Derrick Henry's going to run all over their defense. And also, Ryan Tannehill's going to be back for this game. So the Titans are going to have a much more improved passing attack compared to what they have been having recently the past couple of games. So, yeah, I got Titans winning. Vikings versus Bills. This game should be a complete obliteration for the Bills. It should be. You just came off of a loss to the Jets. And while they are, a good football team in my opinion, a team that's just risen from the ashes when Vegas picked you guys to win the Super Bowl should not be beating you. So they're going to be coming out the gates in this game mad as heck. So they're probably going to beat the Vikings in blowout fashion. Jaguars versus Chiefs. Speaking of games that are going to be won in blowout fashion, Chiefs got this. The Jaguars do have... Their defense is okay. They're okay. They're solid at stopping the run, and they're solid at running the ball offensively. But their biggest bugaboos have been the passing game, whether it's offensively or defensively. And yeah, that opens everything up for Mahomes to just pass all over the yard on the Jaguars defense. And this game's going to be played in Arrowhead in Kansas City. Yeah. Chiefs, they got this. Saints versus Steelers. Saints, what happened? It's like 1 week you're here, and then the next week you're here. I don't understand. Y'all are a much worse version of the Bengals right now. It's like it's off and on, off and on, off and on. Because y'all just came off a 24-0 shutout against the Raiders. And they got some offensive firepower. So for them to hold them to 0 points, that's actually kind of impressive. And then only to come back the very next week and the Ravens just did some surgery on you guys. At least on the ground they did. So I don't know where this team is going, but the Steelers, as bad as they've been, they've got a competent head coach in Mike Tomlin who might be better at being able to coach this game than Dennis Allen. And they're going to be at home in Heinz Field. Yeah, I got the Steelers winning this. Colts versus Raiders. It's going to be Jeff Saturday's coaching debut, and the Colts are going to try to win this game for him. His debut as the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Something he's always wanted to be. Well, I don't know if he's always wanted to be, but this is definitely a huge opportunity for him. And he doesn't want to, just blow it all away. And yeah, so trust me, the Colts are going to try their best they're gonna try their best to win this game for them. And also, Josh McDaniels is not a good head coach. I think I've gone over this before in a recent video, have I? Cardinals versus Rams. Cardinals, they're somewhat good on offense, and they're somewhat good on defense. Meanwhile, for the Rams, I can't say they're somewhat on anything. They're trash. They are a bad football team. And while their defense looked good against a bad Buccaneers offense, a below average Buccaneers offense, they completely collapsed in the final 44 seconds of the game. So, yeah. I predicted that the Rams were going to have a Super Bowl hangover. So, I mean, it is what it is, Rams. It is what it is, it's just not working out for you guys. Cowboys versus Packers. This game is going to have a lot of similarities to that Colts-Raiders game. The team going to go out there and win that game for their head coach. But in this case, Mike McCarthy's going back to Lambeau Field, to the place that used to be called home for him, and then they fired him. And all this about saying that, that Super Bowl that he won, that was because of Aaron Rodgers. Well, he was never really all that good of a head coach. Well, you see what he's doing right now with the Cowboys, and last year he was pretty good. This year he's been doing well. He's been doing really well. Without your starting quarterback, and you go 4-1 in 5 games without your franchise quarterback, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, got to take it with a grain of salt. Cowboys are going to beat the Packers probably by at least 3 touchdowns. Brandon Perna, shout out to Brandon Perna, That's Good Sports on YouTube. He said that the only way the Dallas Cowboys drop from 6 on his power rankings is if we don't beat the Packers by 3 touchdowns. Okay, well, Brandon Perna's got us, he wants us to, he's challenging us. So we got to live up to the challenge. And I think we will. I think we will beat them by at least 3 touchdowns. Probably by exactly 3 touchdowns, to be quite honest with you. But that's a story for another day. A prediction video for another day. But yeah, 49ers versus Chargers. The Battle of California. So, 49ers are going to win this game, and the reason why I'm picking the 49ers, they're just the better team. I mean, there's literally no other way around it. What else do you want me to say? I mean, they got Christian McCaffrey, that is taking care of the run game. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, who can just be the backseat driver, for this 49ers team. You got a defense that has guys like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. A relentless pass rush on defense that can get after the quarterback and make life hard for the quarterback in the pocket. And you're just the 49ers, and you're a storied franchise, And what are the Chargers? What are the Chargers, historic for? Nothing. The only thing they're historic for is losing games that they should be winning. But nonetheless, yeah, I got 49ers winning this game. So, then, Commanders versus the Eagles. I've got Commanders winning this game. And the reason why I've got the Commanders winning this game, I think I've made a video about this before, like earlier in the week maybe. But the Eagles, first of all, they do not want physical football. They do not want physical football. This is the Washington Commanders team. They will win games ugly. Trust me, they will. And they will give teams a run for their money. And for the Eagles, I think they'll do more than just give them a run for their money. I think they'll win this game. I mean, did you see that Commanders defensive line? They were hitting Kirk Cousins. They were hitting him. What you think is going to happen to Jalen Hurts? All right, Kirk Cousins was rattled in that pocket a little bit for most of that game. So what do you think is going to happen to Jalen Hurts, bro? That dude was getting hit time after time against Houston, and he didn't really look like himself at times. So, and they're undefeated. They're 8-0, and I've always believed in the more you continue to win, especially once you get past that 6-0 mark, the more the pressure starts to mount. You know, the more the pressure starts to mount, and how much can they, you know, like take the pressure of being still undefeated? I think that will be put to the test in this game, and I don't think they're gonna win. I will tell it to you guys straight up right now, Eagles. I think you're soft. I think you guys are soft, and you are going to lose this game. And you are going to take your first loss of the year. So that is my NFL Week 9 predictions. I got Falcons over the Panthers, Seahawks over the Bucks, Bears over the Lions, Dolphins over the Browns, Titans over the Broncos, Bills over the Vikings, Giants over the Texans, Chiefs over the Jaguars, Steelers over the Saints, Colts over the Raiders, Cardinals over the Rams, Cowboys over the Packers, 49ers over the Chargers, and Commanders to knock off the last unbeaten team in the NFL. Alright? So, I want to be able to come in here and make my video as soon as that game's over and be able to say, the last unbeaten has been beaten. So, with that being said, like, subscribe. That has been my time. This is NFL Thoughts, out.